is. Morgan gets the ball first across, it goes to Blackett-Taylor! A counter-attack from the Addicts gives them the lead.
Payne, edge of the area, back out into Blackett-Taylor, takes a touch, and another one, shoots and scores! Corey Blackett-Taylor back in the side, and after 8.5 minutes, the Addicts have the lead. Good football from Charlton, pouncing on the mistake from Forest Green. There was a touch from Dobson into Payne, attacked the area. Blackett-Taylor was free on his left, picked up the ball, took a touch, then took another one to give him the space to slam it home.
Now Charlton will look to break Kirk. Out left to Blackett-Taylor, he's got space. Corey Blackett-Taylor, through on goal. Blackett-Taylor! Doubles Charlton's lead! The counter-attack, we talked about it just now, and Corey Blackett-Taylor. Blackett-Taylor with the run and the composure to finish and give Charlton the 2-0 lead. Pass, Sorensen finds Fraser. That's a lovely ball to Blackett-Taylor. Blackett-Taylor onto his left foot. Corey Blackett-Taylor! Oh, what a goal! What a fine Charlton goal that is. From back to front, that was brilliant. With his left foot rifles home and Charlton have a 2-goal lead.
Ness sends it forward, Blackett-Taylor on the run, it's a great ball. Can Blackett-Taylor get it out of possession? He can! And that's the second! Incisive pass from Lucas Ness to pick out the run of Blackett-Taylor into the penalty area. Just for a second, I thought it was Caprice or Sweeney, I couldn't make it out. I thought he got the better of him and got the right side, but lovely body movement from Blackett-Taylor to allow himself to slot it past Blackman for Charlton second. Still Raksaki heading towards the penalty area, ball across, on his tiny deflection and buried by Corey Blackett-Taylor from virtually the penalty spot. Lovely move down the right hand side, ball into the box, just deflected into the path of Blackett-Taylor who buried it, and Charlton have the lead.
Corner on this Charlton left hand side, this time Fraser with it, it's a deep one looking for Innes gets there with a good header, it's there, Blackett-Taylor can finish!
Leeburn and Blackett-Taylor in the box as Campbell cuts back inside, looks for some support. Campbell will cross towards the far post, it's inviting, Blackett-Taylor will finish, and it's a wonderful Charlton goal. Tyrese Campbell with the assist, a brilliant assist, and there's no doubt about who scored this one.
on his own, finishes!
And it's the golden boy of Charlton, Miles Leeburn, who gives the Addicts the lead.
Frees up Payne across, looking for Leeburn out! Oh, it's a goal! Miles Leeburn! Scores for the Addicts! And the cries of Leeburn go up!
Miles Leeburn get there first, Galloway in pursuit. Leeburn does get there first, edge of the penalty area. Payne on the outside, tries to set him up again. Leeburn! Miles Leeburn scores in front of the covered end!
He's it off instead to Leeburn, onto his right, Miles Leeburn! It just had to be, didn't it? It's becoming a regular habit for Miles Leeburn. It's not really a shock anymore.
Wiggins fella goes past him, ball back across. Lieber with a back flick! Oh, what a finish! With an audacious back flick.
Dobson releases Lieben, and I think he's onside here. Lieben into the box, going to take a shot on his right foot. Does so, and it's there! He thought he might go with his left foot. He went back on his right. It may have taken a deflection, but it's in the roof of the net, and Charlton have the lead.
Good touch from Carnu on the left-hand side with the cross towards Lebo with the header! Oh, what a goal from Charlton front two! Carnu with the cross, Lebo leaping, powerful header, no chance for Blackmore. So Blackett-Taylor in the penalty area, the cross, Lebo! Yes! Control with the goal back! And it's Lieburn again.
Down to Dobson. Sky scuffs in a little bit. Still in the penalty area now. Lieburn on his own finishes, and that's the opening goal. Quality finish from Lieburn. A Morecambe defence looking for an offside. The ball forward, lovely chest control from Lieburn. Swivel and volley beyond Ripley for the opening goal.
It's beyond Brophy inside the penalty area. Raksaki across the goal. There's Lieburn. There's the opener, and it's the golden boy of Charlton, Miles Lieburn, who gives the Addicts the lead.
Morgan into the penalty area, drills it across. He's got a second chance, Morgan, and it's Lieburn finishes.
Dunkley, Lieburn holding the ball up. Pennington is back there. Lieburn will go for goal. He scores. Of course he scores. The golden boy of Charlton again. Lieburn scores.
Inside now, finds Campbell to his outside, drills it across. Raksaki can't finish, but Lieburn can. Miles Lieburn in front of the cover end.
What about this one then? Well, Charlton's owner has agreed to sell the club to the US bankrolled SE7 Partners Consortium, and that's fronted by the former Sunderland director, Charlie Methven. Now, joining us now is Heather McKilney, I should say, from the Charlton Athletic Supporters Trust. Good afternoon to you, Heather. So what's your initial reaction then?
Afternoon, Vicky. I think we've been calling for Sangard to sell the club for several months now. He came in with lots of promises, but unfortunately he was unable to deliver on that. So we're pleased that there is now some resolution. We believe it will now take an amount of time to go through EFL approvals. That's quite a rigorous and lengthy process now. So for the time being, Thomas Sangard remains the owner of the club until that completes. We are in a process really of doing our own scrutiny and due diligence on the potential new owners. We have had some contact with Jim Rodwell, who's a former football chief executive and very experienced in the English game. And we understand he would lead the consortium on a day-to-day basis in terms of running the club. Obviously, we have had comments from supporters at other clubs where Charlie Methven has previously been involved. He's a bit of a larger-than-life character, as people have seen on the Netflix documentary. So we do have some concerns there. We've not had any direct engagement formally with him as the Supporters Trust yet. And our understanding is that he will have more of a backseat role on the whole board, being involved in the day-to-day management of the club. So I think we've got to face the next few weeks of waiting for things to become much clearer. And in that time, as the Supporters Trust, we will do our own due diligence and scrutinise who the new owners are going to be and what their intentions are. And ultimately, we will judge them on what they actually do at the football club rather than what they say they're going to do.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Heather. And you're right to be cautious. Am I right in saying this would be the fourth set of owners in the space of 4 years? It's not gone quite to plan, has it, with any owner that's come in?
No, I mean, Sangard, I think, had decent intentions as a football club owner, but he just wasn't really prepared to put in experienced people to run the club. But prior to that, Sangard did save us from basically a group of chancers who did not have proper backing behind them, who did not have the best interests of the club at heart by any means. So we called at that time for the EFL to scrutinise owners and to have a more rigorous test so that people couldn't just walk into a football club having paid £1. So we're now in a position where the EFL have tightened those regulations. and that's why this process will now take several weeks. So we just have to bear with that and wait for the resolution of that. It's obviously a really important time for the football club, obviously with preparation for next season, with signings, with re-signing existing players, hopefully signing some good new players to strengthen the squad so that we can compete at the top half of League One, or the top end of League One, because we've not been doing that in recent years. So it's a strange situation, because that obviously will have to be done still under the ownership of Thomas Sandgaard, but hopefully with the input and agreement from the potential new owners, but in a very constructive and agreed way.
Heather, can you bring me up to speed with what's the situation in terms of Roland Duchâtelet? Because my understanding is he still owns the stadium and the club. Is that right? Can you understand how this is all going to work together?
Yeah, Duchâtelet owns the valley and the training ground, but the football club is under separate ownership. And that came about when ESI took over the club. It was the group that I would call a bunch of chancellors, basically. And unfortunately, they promised Roland that they would pay £50 million for those assets on the Never Never. So Duchâtelet believes that is the value of those assets, and he's holding out for that amount. So we don't know the exact arrangements with the new potential consortium. Our understanding is that they're only buying the football club, but they will continue to lease those assets from Duchâtelet, and that lease runs until 2035, which may seem quite a while away, but actually in football club history, it's not very long at all. So
it seems like a long time, doesn't it? You mentioned 2035. It has got into, dare I say, a bit of a pickle. You did mention the fact that we were able to see Charlie Methven as the director at Sunderland, and he's part of that Netflix series, wasn't he? Do you think that he'll have learned from that experience somewhat?
I mean, I would hope so, because I think he was, say, a larger-than-life character, and he was quite domineering. And I think in the end, what football clubs really need is proper consultation with fans, recognition of the history of the club, and also the emotional investment that supporters put into the club. It means so much more. It's not just a commercial asset. It's so important in the community. It's important for families. People have their ashes scattered at the corner of the valley, the memorial garden, and that's a totally different relationship from a commercial entity. And I think we're always concerned as fans when new owners are coming in, and you wonder, well, what is their ultimate motivation? Is it to make a success of the football club, or is it to somehow or other try and make money out of it? So time will tell on that one.
It certainly will. 5 managers in the space of 2 years. Look, if you could send out a message, and you can right here, here's your platform. If you wanted to send out a message to the new owners, what would be the 3 things that are absolutely vital for them to get it right in order for you to go on and get some success?
I mean, in the very short term, keep Dean Holden and give him proper backing. So I think he's shown that he really gets the club, and has turned things around really well in the time that he's been in charge. Don't sell Miles Lieburn. We've got a great prospect there. Let's hang on to him for at least another season if we possibly can. And strengthen the relationship between the club and the fans, because it's become it has become too fractured, and Charlton supporters have a long history of campaigning for their club and being very active, and we can be an asset to the football club if everyone pulls in the same.
Why are you handing me this? What is this? More trash? That'll be a written apology. Oh, this is very nice. You're gonna get this frame.
Because I was in for
strikes it. Great penalty.
Brilliant.
Sends the keeper the wrong way. Charlton are back level, 3-all.
Well done, Stephen Sessegnon. That was brilliant. Waited for the goalkeeper to move. Perfectly placed penalty. 3-all.
Saicedo now coming forward for
6 penalties each already.
Yep.
God, blimey. Does it to you, this club, doesn't it? Absolutely.
Saicedo up against Maynard Brewer. Comes forward now. Hits it. Saved by Maynard Brewer. Brilliant. Charlton had the chance to take this tie.
Oh, my word. Brilliant from Ashley Maynard Brewer. What a save that is.
And it's Sam Lavelle tasked with it.
Oh, my word. Oh, I can't watch this too. But what a save from Maynard Brewer. Saicedo hits it. It's in the corner. I think it's a good penalty. But Maynard Brewer, his long Australian arms diving down to the right, palms it away. Now Lavelle could send Charlton into the quarterfinals. Oh, I would not like to be Sam Lavelle right now. Come on, Sam.
Sam Lavelle up against Jason Steele. Hits it. And yes! Charlton are in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Quarter-final awaits and the Addicts are through. And the Charlton players jump on Sam Lavelle in the corner of the penalty area. And Charlton have won this penalty shootout by 4 penalties to 3 against Premier League Brighton.
We've seen some special nights at the Valley Tell, and this is up there with them. What a penalty from Lavelle. He just steps forward, no nonsense, as if it's a clearance, smacks it in, and Charlton, this football club, you just never know what it's going to deliver. And tonight is a night we'll remember for a very long time, Mr. Smith.
I don't care who you are. We deserve this, my friend. In the more dramatic of fashions to most games that we see down here, and we've had a few, Charlton have beaten Premier League Brighton on penalties to progress to the quarter-finals, and even the penalty shootout wasn't straightforward. Misses, woodwork rattling, saves, and Sam Lavelle it was who finally put Brighton to the sword.
Live by the sword in detail. The covered end to our left is absolutely bouncing. We haven't said that for a while.
Ipswich penalty area. Morgan sends it in. Charlton looked like he was having this, and it is a goal. Terrell Thomas, not only in his first league start, has got his first Charlton goal. The ball to the back post looked like Inigo was being pulled. I think it might have been Blackett-Taylor who got the ball back in. I'll confirm that in a second, but Thomas on hand to get a third for Charlton. Again, it's probably just consolation. Morgan with the free kick, went to the far side. Was Blackett-Taylor who got it back in, and Thomas finishes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their centre halves and they won't be pleased with themselves either, conceding that. Absolutely complacent in terms of how they're picking up. Didn't think they were going to concede, and they have.
Well, we're into added time and added time. As Edwards has it for Ipswich. Ball forward is cut out by Clare. That should be a Charlton throw. Oh, he's giving it the other way, of course.
Yeah, no shot there. I mean, that clearly spun off their player and should have been asked. But
throw goes backwards to Edmondson. Sends it down the line, looking for Ladapo, but it'll go beyond him. Charlton will have a throw. And quickly can Clare get this back in? Is there any time left at all? Throw goes to Wallacott, who sends it forward, looking for Anike. It's cleared away by Ball. Now Lavelle sends it up towards Anike. Header goes only up in the air, and then Ball tracking back, heads it back to his keeper.
Yeah, and that should be that. To be fair, if you concede 2 in added on time and you're 2 behind, you know, you shouldn't really get anything from the game. So they're just going to kill it, push up, go long, and that should be your lot.
Walton sends it forward. Still the referee doesn't blow his whistle. Morsey will pick it up from the knockdown of Ladapo, and he's on the ball into the penalty area. That's a great tackle from Thomas to win it back from Charlton. Needed to be as well.
Yeah, he should have gone on the outside.
Sends it forward, but straight to Edmondson, who heads it back from where it came. Clare again heads it forward. Can Anike get there? Holds the ball up, Anike turns his man, being pulled backwards. Anike on a run now, looking for options. Anike to his left is Sessegnon. Further left is Blackett-Taylor. Sessegnon loses him as a decoy. Back to Fraser. Out to Morgan, looking to deliver the ball into the box. It's a deep one. Morgan, Dobson gets it with a header. Oh, it's there! Oh, George Dobson has levelled it up for Charlton with the last seconds of the game. Quite extraordinary. It looked like we were dead and buried. But Charlton had other ideas. Chucks and Ike did superbly well. Charlton were patient to get the cross in. It was Albie Morgan who delivered it. And George Dobson heads his back over Christian Walton, who couldn't get there. And quite remarkably, the Addicts are back on level terms.
That's quite appalling from Ipswich Town, to be honest. However, let's not worry about them. George Dobson tells you everything you need to know about us getting a result today. The fella barely ever gets in the opposition box, let alone scores a goal. It's been a thrilling second half. It's been absolutely outstanding to watch, and if you left early, you've missed an absolute cracker.
Good grief. It is something quite special here. Well, it's very rarely I'm lost for words, but I have no idea what's been going on here. The game restarts. Ipswich in possession. Surely there can't be any more drama.
What we'll say is they'll moan their backsides off about we were 2.5 minutes over the 6.
Hold on a sec, they're on the attack. Oh, it's a great block from Sessegnon. And there is the final whistle.